Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2001 Epiphone Les Paul with a factory Bigsby made in Korea that I just finished up some repair work and basic maintenance kind of stuff. A little more than I had anticipated, but we'll cover that later. We're going to start off with the sounds. Today, no digital amps, nothing of that nature. We're going to be going back to the Mesa Boogie Rectiverb. Any drive that you hear is going to be from that. I did not use a single pedal whatsoever. Mic'd up by the SM57, straight into the Focusrite. So let's hear what it sounds like. Alright, seeing as though I'm starting to get a lot of guitars in for repair on a consistent basis, I'm going to format it with my review and thoughts of the instrument now that it's finished and in playing order, and then go over some of the repair aspects afterwards. This guitar is actually pretty cool. I like it. I like it a decent amount. This has a slim taper neck on it that is very, very comfortable. No rough fret edges. This guitar has been taken care of well in that sense on it. It holds tune extremely well with the Bigsby after a new nut was actually cut, correctly installed, and then lubricated. This thing had no problems with it. No coil splits, nothing fancy with the electronics on this guy, just straight up humbucker, three-way selector switch. Sounds really, really like glassy, but in a present way, as far as it just really jumps out at you, especially when you're on the neck pickup with the cleans. It just would sit really high up in a mix. Might be a little bit of EQing needed to add in some high-end sparkle after listening back to the initial recordings, but definitely a very strong brute force of an instrument in that sense. And not surprisingly, when we push this onto the vintage gain channel on the Rectiverb, this thing absolutely screams, which any good Les Paul will. It's a cool instrument, man. It's actually not that heavy. I was expecting it to be a bit more hefty when I saw I was going to be bringing this one home to do some work on, but it's comfortable, plays well. If you're in the market for something like this is a U serial number on it. Decent shape, all original, maybe 600, 650 tops. Really 500 if you can get it there for cash. A-okay in my book, and a quality instrument that will serve you well and reliably stay in tune even with the Epiphone branded Bigsby vibrato. Some people think that just because it says Epiphone on it that it's going to be an inferior Bigsby. It works just fine, just set it up right. Now, the repairs on this thing and the maintenance. When I first got this guitar, it didn't have the tension spring for the actual Bigsby on it, so it was just kind of flopping around. I thought that was going to be the bulk of my work here, and that would have been very, very, very easy if that was the case. However, when I flip the guitar around on the back, you'll see the before pictures. The tuners were installed backwards. I'm not sure why they were installed backwards, but it led to screws not being lined up correctly. So you do have not the prettiest aesthetic thing going on here, even with them installed correctly afterwards. That wasn't that big of a deal. But the other thing I noticed once I had the strings out, this nut fell straight to the ground. And also, the nut was not cut, period. As in, somebody must have purchased a bone nut, put it on the guitar, and then left it. Yeah, I could see why the guitar wasn't playing very well in this instance. I filed down the actual slots themselves. I use StewMac files, best in the business. If you're going to be doing any sorts of repair or maintenance, whether it's for your own instruments or somebody else's, I definitely recommend don't skimp out on the important stuff. And having a properly cut nut is extremely important because the playability of this guitar, once that was set up and then set in permanently, well, it could be removed, but it's not just going to fall out during the next string change. Fantastically playing guitar now. Few odd things when it came to this guitar. The normal three-way toggle switch was really scratchy, so you hit this with a little bit of deoxit, boom, not a big deal. The way I like to do it is, though, I take everything out from this side, I cover everything with rags, I just spray it right on just to make sure that none of it has any chance of hitting any of the finish, and you're good to go. Put it right back in and boom, all of a sudden all of that crackling is gone. Another funny thing with this guitar, in the back here, I was having problems. Once I was done setting it up, I was like, all right, well, it's time to actually make sure everything is good to go. Intermittent on the input jack. So I was like, oh, that's kind of strange. Took off the panel, and you're going to see, for God knows what reason, there was just a random spring that would be akin to like a Telecaster neck pickup just sitting right there in the middle of the jack. So had to take the little screwdriver, remove that, and tighten this thing up. Works like a charm. But fun repair. Really cool guitar. I do like this top a lot. I'm not normally a red guitar guy. This is great. And that's our quick rundown of this 2001 Epiphone Korean Les Paul limited edition with a Bigsby. A lot of words, but really pretty decent guitar. And if you can find one of these at the prices I mentioned, you know, a little bit kind of used and abused or modified, $500 in good shape, or if it's pristine, $650, I think you could do worse with your money, especially in this inflated market. However, that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoy the content on this channel and these kinds of videos, let me know. Not just that you like it, I really do appreciate that, but let me know what you would like to see. Would you like me to actually film a lot of this repairing and kind of maintenance and general troubleshooting? I've been debating live streaming that. I just don't know how logistically it could work because I do it in the garage and everything else stream-wise is done in here. If there's enough interest in it, we'll figure something out. However, subscribe, comment, like, yada, yada, yada. And I'll see you on the next guitar. Take it easy, everybody.